So my name is Floyd. This is my new channel, Aussie Rants and Reviews, where I'm intending to review pretty much everything. I want to review books, I want to review TV shows, which I don't want to talk about it yet, because the season isn't over, but I have a lot to say about Game of Thrones, especially the last few seasons that have had no George Martin input, which we're all feeling. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, I want to review TV shows, books. Currently, I'm reading a series called Early War by Harry Turtledove. It's got mixed reviews. I'm going to give it my own review because I actually really enjoy it. I really enjoy Turtledove's style of writing. A lot of people don't because they feel like he has a habit of putting too many characters in his stories that don't go anywhere, and he does, to be fair. But I like that because I'm a nerd. I'm the sort of guy that reads the appendix of a fantasy novel just to see the background of the Dwarven Kingdom that was in the book for like 5 minutes. Because I'm that guy that wants to know their backstory. So to me, seeing people all over the world in these books, some of them interesting for one book, and then 3 books later, they're still going through their story of what they're currently doing, you're kind of like, why are we bothering? This guy hasn't done anything significant to the plot for 3 books now. We just keep getting like updates on what he's doing. But I like that. I can see why people complain, but I like his style of writing. So I'm going to review his Early War series, which I believe there's only 4 books in. And I'm almost finished the 3rd, so I'll start the 4th soon. So yeah, I'll probably do a review. I don't know if I'll do it book by book or whether I'll do the whole series. We'll see. For some of the books, honestly, like the 2nd book, it's important, but honestly, not a whole lot happens, really. The 1st book's important, the 3rd book's really important. A lot of stuff happens. I imagine the 4th will be pretty important because that's how it's all going to come to a close, and with the way the 3rd's going, it's going to be a very interesting close and very different to how history went. But anyway, so that's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's what I want to do for the channel. I want reviews, rants, because sometimes I'm going to have to rant. Like, the next video for this channel is probably going to be after the next episode of Game of Thrones. The final episode of Game of Thrones, which is next week. I'm going to watch that, and then I'm going to put out this review. Actually, no, not a review. A review would be harsh. It's probably going to be a rant, but then you never know. I highly doubt it, but maybe D&D actually have some really good things that they're planning. Maybe I won't be disappointed by next week's episode. I feel like I will be. I'm already disappointed by this whole season. There's a lot of really, really cool things in this season, but yeah, there's a hell of a lot more problems than there are cool things. Cool cinematography, awesome CGI, awesome battle scenes, well directed. Writing and character development, they went out the window seasons ago, which is the complete problem for me because that's the stuff I really care about. If I want to see cool explosions and battles, I'll just watch a Michael Bay movie. But yeah, so that's my take. I don't pretend to be a great writer. I am hoping to be a great writer. I'm currently writing a book. I need to do a lot of editing, and I still have more writing to go, but I feel like I'm getting better as I go, which is good and bad, because it means the start of the book now, to me, seems really bad compared to what I'm currently writing. So when I go back to edit it, I'm probably going to end up almost rewriting it, and then I'll probably learn more, and the end of the book, eventually I'll just have to release it, but we'll see. For now, I am going through that cycle of just, I don't like it, but I don't care. I'm just in the mindset of write it all down, get it all done. I think I'm like 8 chapters in. I'm trying to get the next few done. I don't know how long it'll be. I need to count up. I need to use the word count, see how many words I do have. And the story I'm trying to tell, I think I'm at about the midway point. But if it's already a lot bigger than what I thought it was, I need to look at maybe cutting some stuff down or maybe just making it bigger. I don't know yet. I'm undecided. But for now, I just want to put it all on the page. I want a big page. I mean, just a big book full of stuff. And then if I have to spend months going through editing it and fixing all the paragraphs, that's fine. I can do that. Sorry. A little bit sick. But, yeah. So I'm currently writing a book. I'm enjoying writing the book immensely. Like, even if it doesn't sell well, it doesn't do well, I'm enjoying it just as a hobby. If it makes money, that's a bonus. Honestly, this book stemmed from, I was doing a D&D campaign, Dungeons & Dragons, for anyone that doesn't know what that means. And it sort of fell apart due to my schedule issues. I just couldn't DM it anymore, and I couldn't host it at my house anymore because work was too crazy. And I was flat out and exhausted constantly, which was a part of my mental health issues that began at that time. But that's, again, another story for another day. I am now working a lot less, so I have a bit more spare time. Quite a bit less money, which is partly why I'm starting different channels. Not doing it just for money. I also wanted to do this a while ago. I just never had the free time to do it. But any money I make would be nice. But, yeah. So, I'm trying to be a writer. We'll see. The first book, I don't know whether it'll do well or not. I feel like I'm learning a lot, though, from it. So, a second book, I already have a few ideas. I've always enjoyed horror, so I'm considering a horror. There's also a sequel to the current one I'm writing that I'd like to do, which was the original book I wanted to do. A series, I don't know if it'll be a book or a series yet. We'll see. But, this book, I decided, because it was my first book writing, I didn't want to start with that story. I wanted to write this, which is kind of like a prequel that will play into the later stuff. Which I will write, regardless of whether this sells well or whatever. I will write it, just for myself, because the ideas are in my head and I want to finish the story so that I know myself how it ends. But yeah, like I said, this was originally Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I couldn't host anymore. But I spent so long. I spent months crafting this world for the players. And, you know, if you've played Dungeons & Dragons, whether you've DM'd or just played, you know what players are like. Oh, Jesus. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I can't breathe. But, you know what players are like. Players, you'll write a scenario that says, player will come here, they'll speak to this person, that person will tell them to go here, and then they'll go there. So they'll go from point A to talk to person at point B to go to point C. A player will see that and go, point A, what's that over there? They'll go over there. They'll talk to the person at point B. He'll tell them to go somewhere and they'll try and rob him and then go elsewhere. Because players, they like to be chaotic. So you have to try as a DM and write, either you have to force them to follow your plot, which is one way to do it, but I don't like to do that. Because I feel like that's very limiting. I like character development. I actually enjoy the players doing crazy shit. To me, I think it's hilarious. Some of the stuff they get up to is funny. I always try and play the fairness, you know. You want to rob that store? Sure. I'll let you rob it. I'll make you do all the rolls, and there will be consequences if you fail or if you're caught, and if you continue to steal from the town, eventually they're all going to get together and work out who's doing it. And then again, there will be consequences. But, you know, I tell my players that beforehand, and if they want to do that, they can do that. That's fine. Sometimes the situations are funnier than what anything I could have possibly written up. But yeah, my point was, I crafted this world so thoroughly, because I didn't know where they would go. I literally started them off on a ship, heading towards a central location, which was kind of like a mini United Nations in a fantasy setting, on an island in the center of the continents. And they were going to then split off from there, depending on their decisions, because from there I just basically gave them a job board of things that they had to do because they owed these people for helping them. And that was my idea. You can go where you want. I described all the different kingdoms. I tried to give them jobs that went to each different part of the world, or offerings that went to each part of the world, and I let them choose. I basically said that, you know, you owe these people a debt because they've helped you. They basically saved their lives and helped them out a lot. So you owe them something. And they basically said that, well, you know, either you pay us a ridiculous amount of money, which obviously the players don't have because it was the start of a campaign, was the point, or you do a job for them. So the players had to do a job. They then got to choose where to go, which was my way of giving them a little bit of player agency and freedom. Like, if you want to go over to the Orc Kingdom, cool. There's a job that goes there. You want to go see the Dark Elves? There's a job that goes there. Want to go off to the Dwarves? Cool. Want to go to the other Dwarves? Cool. Want to go to the Elder Evil Dwarves over here? There's issues with them on the border. You can go there. There's the Elves. There's all the different Elven kingdoms. And if they wanted to, they could even just go on the ships and work on the ships for a while. I gave them lots of options so they could go elsewhere. But in doing that, it meant I actually had to think of all these places. I couldn't just write a name on a map and go, yeah, the elves live there. Because I didn't know how quickly they'd get through this session, and it turned out they got through it a lot faster than I thought, so I'm glad I put the 3 thought in. But basically, they come in, And I'm like, alright, so you can go to the High Elf Kingdom. So then in my head, I'm like, well, crap. What if we get to there in the first half an hour? I don't want to end the session in half an hour. We usually go for like 3 or 4 hours. So that means I need to know what's in the Elf Kingdom, and I don't want to make everything up on the fly. So I had to actually go draw up the kingdoms, who runs the kingdoms, what sort of place they are. I didn't do, exact maps of the cities and distances measuring and all that stuff. I just did a basic overview so that I could do stuff on the fly, but at least following a bit of a guideline of each place so that I had an idea of what I was working with. And so I could tell them what they were working with. But yeah, because I put so much time into building all these different kingdoms and places and names, and when I couldn't do it anymore, I looked at my folder of work and I was like, I don't want this to go to an end. So I put it together and decided, you know what? Oh, I've always wanted to write a book. As a kid, I used to try writing a lot. I wasn't good because I was a kid, but I used to try it anyway. And, these days I'm much older. I've done a lot more reading. I feel like I am going to be a lot better at it, and I feel like I am. So yeah, I'm hoping I will be. So that's my book. That's what I'm hoping my book will be. So currently I'm working 6 days a fortnight, so 3 days a week. Not amazing. I mean, it's amazing in some ways. I love having 4 days off a week. I wish I still got the money for working the, 10, 11 days that I used to work, instead of the 6 days I currently work. But because I do a lot of weekends, it kind of balances out. Not to what I used to get, but to more than a regular 6-day fortnight. But yeah, it's not enough to do everything. It's enough to pay all my bills and get by, but it doesn't leave me with much. Which was kind of the idea of this. Because my mental health was getting bad because I was relying on a job that honestly is a dead-end job. I enjoy the job. I like my bosses. I've been there for 9 years. I like almost everyone I work with. And overall, I enjoy it. I just got tired of the amount of hours I was spending there. And as a shift worker, finishing at 12 at night and starting at 6 in the morning, it gets old. And it gets old fast. And when you do that, and then work 4 days, and then do it again for your last 2 shifts, you might get 3 days off at the end, but it doesn't matter. You're screwed. You're so tired for the first 2 days that it feels like it's nearly the third day by the time you start it to physically recover. And you really only feel like you're getting 1 day off, and then you're back at work doing it again. Yeah, it's not work's fault, that's just how the place is, that's fine. I understand that, but it does affect you, and you do have to be careful, and sometimes you have to say no. I had a bit of a mental breakdown, and now I slowed it down. And I slowed it down on purpose because I intend to do this. I want to do YouTube. I do Twitch already, but I don't do it regular. I want to do Twitch regular. I'm trying to work out which days. I want to try and have 2 days a week where I stream. There might not always be huge streams. The other day I did an 11-hour one. Definitely, if I get enough people in it constantly, then I'll do that regularly, but I don't want to do 11 hours all the time. That was tiring. It was fun, though, I admit. It's not like I didn't like it. I was just tired. I felt like I'd actually worked for the day, even though I just sat there and played Hearts of Iron 4 all day. But it was fun. I want to do that. I also want this channel to grow. There's also another channel I want to do, which is more of a nerdy subculture. Not subculture, but a nerdy, background stuff. Like, in this one, I want to review TV shows and books. In that one, I want to do lore. But, I'm going to review Game of Thrones episodes. Spoiler, I'm going to review all of Game of Thrones after it's finished. I'll probably rant about the final episode. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do what I'm going to call my retrospective of Game of Thrones. Where I'm going to go back to Season 1. And I'm going to watch it. From Episode 1. Every week, I'm going to review an episode. And it's going to be my retrospective of, now that I've seen the entire show and what all of these storylines are building up to at the end, I'm going to go back to the start and see, were the first seasons as good as I thought they were? Because no doubt, they were great TV and I enjoyed watching them, but did they pay off? Did all the things they built up and all these stuff in the later stuff play off? Unfortunately, I don't think they will, because Season 8 so far hasn't been great. But I am interested. Because technically, I believe D&D knew how Game of Thrones would end. Because George R. R. Martin, from what I understand, gave them a basic outline. Because obviously they used his books. The first 4, I think maybe 5 seasons or a bit of Season 5 were pretty much, well, not word to word of the book. They did do changes where they mixed and matched characters that in the book sometimes they fused 2 into 1. Sometimes they ignored a character. There's plot lines that were just ignored because it was just easier to condense it. I understand that. Those are... Hollywood has to make sacrifices, unfortunately. Game of Thrones already cost millions and millions to make each episode, so if there was 20 or 30 more storylines, they'd have to be longer, they'd have to be bigger, and they may not make that much more money, because in reality it's only the book fans like me that love that stuff. So I understand that Hollywood had to make cuts, but I feel like they've just condensed too much and gone the wrong way. But I don't know, I feel like George Martin must have given them, this is how it ends, this is how the White Walkers are going to end and what they're all about. This is what Jon is, this is what, this is what, how they're going to end. Obviously, he didn't give them a step-by-step of how to get there, so they got to the end of his book stuff and they were like, okay, where are all the characters now? These are the points they have to get to. How do we get them there within 4 seasons? And they've done what they've done. Now, we'll see in the ending. Maybe it'll pay off. I doubt it, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what I plan to do, is a retrospective of Game of Thrones from Season 1. I'm going to review each episode all the way up to the end of Season 8. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I am looking forward to that. Even for myself, I'm looking forward to watching the old seasons of Game of Thrones again. I am so excited to watch Season 1 and 2 again. I loved the early seasons. My favourite characters in the entire show is Robert Baratheon, the Hound, Stannis Baratheon, because I love Stannis Baratheon. I think he's amazing. Who else would be my favourite? I like almost all the characters, but they're probably my favourites. Stannis Baratheon, Robert Baratheon, and Ned Stark are they're the OGs. I love those guys. They're the absolute best. And the Hound. I like the Hound too. But yeah, there's a lot of characters I like, but in the early days, the politics between them was amazing. Oh, and Robb Stark. I forgot about Robb Stark. I loved Robb Stark. The young wolf in his campaign was awesome to watch. But yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, so this channel is going to be rants, reviews, and vlogs just from me. So, I might go more into my mental health. I might go into other stuff you find interesting. We'll see. There's also my animals. I have one video already on the channel, it had really bad camera work because I was holding it. So, I'll be clear on that. It has bad camera work. That's my fault. As you can see from the animals now, the other animals, the dogs are in bed. I don't know where Ella is. She's either in my cupboard or she's out in the couch somewhere, but Oni's here. Old Oni girl, my old cat, is chilling out with me. Every time I get home from work, she just wants to chill with me. Usually when I stream, she starts off on my lap, and after a while she goes away. I think she gets sick of me talking because she can't sleep. But she likes being near me, and no one's been home for most of the day, so she's happy. She's as happy to be near a human. But yeah. So, what else was I going to go into? So yeah, I stream under Ballarat Gaming Hub, which is also my gaming channel, which I'll be the first to admit, it's a mess of a channel right now. I started off editing things and being really good about it and uploading regularly. Then I got lazy and there was 6-month gaps between me uploading. I do intend to try and fix it. I already sort of started trying to fix it, fixing thumbnails on everything. I need to go back through. There's a lot of series that I need to decide if I'm going to continue, cut off. I think I'm going to cut a lot of them off because the Skyrim's one broken. Skyrim's broken on my computer. I can't play it. All the mods broke it, so I'm trying to. I'll probably start another one because I love Skyrim and I wouldn't mind playing it again, but currently it's broken. I can't play it. But yeah. So I have my gaming channel, which is called Ballarat Gaming Hub, which is also the name of my Twitch stream. So I'll put a link in the description below, so feel free to go check that out. Also, I'll try and see if I can put a link somewhere. I don't know how to do this. I know you got to do this on YouTube posts. You can put links. So hopefully, if I learn how to do it, there should be a link here. Hopefully just over my cat to my Twitch channel. And one above to my YouTube channel. If there's not, I didn't work out how to do it yet. Someone in the comments, please help me. I'm new. I don't know what I'm doing. And, yeah. So there's that. I won't leave a link to my other lore channel yet, because for now it doesn't even have page art. I haven't done a video. I'm considering recording one soon, though. But yeah, I'm also going to do, as I said, book reviews, show reviews, movie reviews. So that's the main thing, and vlogs. Which, for the most part, will probably be just rants of me ranting about things. Going into my thoughts, which is sort of what I did this one. This is kind of my first rant, but this is a rant about the channel. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.